I really dislike painting up terrain. I struggle to find the time and the energy to put effort into something that I know is not going to be part of an army or part of a game that I'm going to be playing soon. What I want to do today is take you through a few of these tricks that I've picked up over the past few years, and hopefully you guys will learn something new from it. I'm Harry for the Distant Vale. Let's get into it. Right, first thing we're going to do is grab a set of greys, and we're just going to start by dry brushing over a black base. And what this will do is it will allow the deepest recesses to look like they're in shadow, and allow us to build up to pretty close to white. If the terrain pieces are heavily textured like these ones, this technique does work really well. You can do this over sort of smooth metallic surfaces, but you just have to be a little bit more mindful about how heavy paint you've left on the dry brush is. Smooth surfaces you generally want to go a little bit lighter on the paint and go more slowly. With a heavily textured miniature, you can afford to go a little bit more hard and fast, because those raised edges will catch that paint a little bit more effectively, and we're not having to worry about blending things out. And pretty quickly you can see this is coming together quite nicely. The dry brushing is picking up a lot of the detailing. It's going to be very easily visually read as stone, and honestly, because it is just rock, it doesn't have to be particularly clean or tidy. A little bit of mottling or variation in the pigment across the stone will actually make it look like you've done things more purposefully than you might have done otherwise. And with a couple of last touches, the walls are done. The next thing that every town needs is a hay bale, and we're going to build this up from a relatively warm brown up through my yellows to a pretty desaturated near white yellow. Again, just being really quick and dirty with the dry brushing, because there's quite a few steps up in pigment and in saturation of the yellow. You don't have to be particularly neat, and even not allowing some parts of it to dry before adding the next layer on will allow a little bit of a textured wet blend to happen. You could call this a technique, or you could call it just being in a hurry and not really letting the paint dry in between layers. Either way, the effect will look a lot more organic than if you did it very mechanically and allowed every single part of the paint to dry before finishing up. I'm just going to quickly cover off the ends of the wooden sticks here with just some brown speed paint. Because we've already built up a little bit of a textured foundation, you just need one quick layer of that speed paint for it to look pretty readably like wood. Now, for more sandstone, sort of sandy or yellowy coloured brick or rock, we're going to start off very similar to the hay, just a nice warm brown, but instead of finishing up through the yellows, we're going to stick more to the sort of yellow ochres up into the neutral beiges of sort of skeleton bone, and that'll make this look very much like a warm, more yellowed, weathered stone than the black up through to grey looked. And again, we're really just using the dry brush in a very quick and dirty fashion, allowing the texture in the terrain to do the work for us. And really, you can knock out a whole board of this stuff in an afternoon if that's what you fancied, because of just how quickly using that dry brushing technique as a tool will build up realistic and fairly impressive looking colours for terrain. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit more varied texture to these terrain pieces, what you can do is start to stipple. So stippling's when you take something like a dry brush, something with some long bristles, loading up with a very little bit of paint and then sort of stabbing it onto either the miniature or the terrain. And what that does is it creates a little bit of like a speckling textured pattern. And I'm using this on the rock walls to give it a little bit of a sort of like lichen growing or moss growing through the stones. And as long as you stick to sort of organic colours, it'll be quite believable from a distance. The next thing we can look at adding here is some sort of mood or underpainted effects on the stone. So what I'm going to do is just grab blue, red, yellow, green, just nice basic colours, watering them down really, really heavily on my palette, and just sort of really working that into the recesses of these stones. What we're trying to do here is replace that black shadow effect in the stone with some more interesting colours, and then what this is going to do is when we build up this sort of stone dry brush on top, it'll give the terrain a little bit more of a mood lighting effect. So it'll look more like there is refracted environmental light playing with the colours on the rock. If you have any terrain pieces with sculpted greenery, all you need to do is grab a couple of greens, and again dry brushing this over either an underpainted or just a straight black or brown base coat will build up a really nice believable foliage look to the terrain. Now, if the terrain doesn't have any sculpted foliage, there is a little trick we can do with basing material. If you take a good strong glue and you start running that just all over either the stonework or, as you can see here, just some ploughed earth, we can use that to add in some base material to give it that greenery, that sort of look of grass growing through the cracks. So what I've got here is just a few of the Krautcover basing materials that I've got lying around. I'm just going to give this a good wee sprinkle over the top. Don't have to be too clean or tidy. Just make sure to get good coverage across where the glue is sitting. And if you want to add some variety in, what you can do is you can mix up a few different basing materials into a container and sprinkle that over the sort of same little bits of glue. Now, if you haven't got full coverage, give it a few taps around. You'll help sort of settle that basing mix where it needs to be. Or if it's not quite enough, you can always chuck a few more little blobs of glue on and just douse that with a little bit more basing material, or just shake out what's in on the terrain around to cover it up. And we can do the same thing for the wall. So if we just take some PVA glue, lay it down across the areas where you think some grass or dirt might reasonably be sitting, work that in with a brush and then douse with a bit of basing material, you can get quite a nice readable effect of sort of grass growing or moss growing between the cracks of the stones. And there we go, we now have a board filled with pretty good looking terrain for what was arguably not a lot of skill or effort, just a bit of dry brushing, a bit of glue, and being a bit overzealous with base material being thrown around. Thanks for sticking around to the end, guys. We really appreciate the support. I hope I did manage to show you something that you haven't seen before, and if not, I hope that we were able to show you something which was at least going to give you a bit of confidence to try something out on your own. If there's anything you want us to look at in the future, please let us know down below. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!